my gosh, hello my friends. Hello, hello. So sorry. Wow. Welcome raiders. Hey Barry, Marcia, hello. Thanks for the raid. Nice camera. Thanks. Oh wow. Okay. Let's see who is here. Gonin, Captain Mal, hello. William, hello. LFK, Prime, hi. ODM, hello. Ru, hello. Marcia, thank you so much for the sub. Voidy plays, hi. Emerade, hi. Thanks for the resub. Edamame, Objective Lazarus, how's it going? Tilting at Twitch. Bushido, hey. Sinjusti, hello. Last stream? Not yet. No, not yet. We still got some stuff to do. No, not yet. It's not quite the last yet. Wowie, Jer, thank you for coming back. 2-1, hello, hi. ODM, thanks for the 72. Okay, I was going to post to IG, but so today we're gonna be building this CannonKeys Blaine V2 SE, and you'll see it's the same unit that I believe Marcia and also Alex built it. CannonKeys. Let's see. Twitch.tv/posting on Instagram is always a challenge. Okay. Okay, done. Very nice Pro 2, thank you. Okay. Alright, so tonight we're gonna be building a TKL. It is the Blaine V2 SE. It was, so this board initially was conceived for a type of sail called like omakase style that I think folks at the New England keyboard group started doing. So I think it was like Upas and like Games of AKB and like the CannonKeys team did a similar board. And this Blaine V2 is sort of like inspired by much of it has a lot of features that you'll recognize from the Jane V2, and it also uses inspiration from Pokemon, which is why the name is like that. It's kind of parallel there, and so yeah. So this is the Volcano edition of that board. Let me pull up. All right. Quasi, hey, thanks for the prime. Thank you. All right, so we got some stabs. Put this away. We got an FR4 plate. We got gaskets, screws. Got an O-ring. And we got the board itself. I believe it already has an alu plate inside. We'll take that out. here's the board. It's the same unit, I believe, that Alex and Marcia checked out, the Volcano version. Love the HKB with the pastel accents. Thank you. I've had it for a while, actually. This one I think I got like in 2017 or something like that. I actually got it to try 55-gram domes because a friend of mine had put 55-gram domes in them. And I liked it in the HKB, and so I actually ended up buying a Real Force after that with 55-gram, and I actually ended up not liking the Real Force, probably because it was too stiff for me. but yeah, on the HKB it was fine, but on the I didn't like the 55-gram on the Real Force. Sorry, let me respond to a DM. Okay, so so let's take a look at the, maybe we can take a look at the Keycaps thread over here. So this is the Blaine V2 SE, and as I said, it's born out of this like omakase style like keyboard, like private keyboard group buy in the New England Keyboard Discord group. Basically 10 people joined this group buy and knew nothing about the board, and he kind of decided, you know, talked about the idea. A bunch of people said that they would join if they used the F12 JNTKL plate. So, you know, kind of started from there. And this was sort of like the V1 version. And, you know, it draws inspiration from Pokemon. And it uses a Jane plate. So, as it goes, it also has these cool other little features like this carbon fiber bottom accent, this little volcano accent with a see-through, like shine-through sort of like badge. And in this case, we have a hot swap PCB with an aluminum plate, and of course, it has that long sort of like weight in the back as well. But pretty cool. The LEDs actually line up with the volcano part, so it actually lights up, which is pretty cool. Top mount and single-sided gasket mount. So single-sided gasket mount is going to be similar to the Brutal V2 series of boards. I think that's what AIO3 kind of designed for them. But you can try a few of these different mounting styles when we get to it. They basically, the gaskets go on the bottom case, and then the plate basically just kind of sits right on top. So yeah, there are a few different colorways. This is the dark gray top and bottom with orange. It's just more like a blue, actually. It's more like a, almost looks bluish. But this is the Volcano unit, which comes with a orange bottom. I think that's a blue top, right? I think that's for the Proto here. And there are two other colorways, Seafoam and Classic. And then I believe and there's a mystery colorway. And the pricing is set at 405 USD. 400 or 405, depending on the hot swap or solderable PCB. And the group buy is currently open. All right. Diego, do you join the FNF Synthesis run? FNF? Mayhaps. All right. let's get the plate out of there. So I guess if it is truly in the style of the Jane V2, we would have, I wonder if there's a screw here. So let's take everything apart. As a Pokemon enthusiast, this is such a cool project. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I do like the the volcano, sort of like with the LEDs that work through it. I think that's a pretty cool feature. I'm actually not like super invested in Pokemon, to be honest. I grew up watching a little bit of it. I never got into the cards. Obviously, that I know that's a whole like the rage these days. I did play like different games and stuff. Played like Pokemon Yellow, Gold, Silver, Crystal, Sapphire. I did not play XY or Black and like newer ones after that. I did not play Pokopia. Oh, this weight is from. Oh, okay. So I think I just need to undo these guys then. Okay, cool. But take everything apart so you guys can see all of the different components. Regardless, didn't play Gen 5. Just tragic. Yeah, I don't really care for it, so it's fine. I don't feel like I'm missing out on much. I still think my favorite was Silver / Soul Silver, personally. But then again, you know, I kind of grew up with that, so it's a bit of nostalgia there too, probably. And oh, is this magnet based? Let me see. Magnetically removable box. Okay. So this one is a magnet piece. Just kind of comes off like that, and there's a screw right here. Okay. You're not? I think Emerald is truly where the series peaked. Yeah, I think the last one that I played for, like, I think the last one that I played fully was the Game Boy Advance one, which was like, what is that, like Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald? I think Ruby and Sapphire came first, right? All right. So looks like some of the gaskets are already pre-installed from previous builders. The DB is already on there. All right. So that's what the internal side looks like. There is a kind of a brass weight. It's raw, but it's on, actually, if you can see here, it's on the main cluster of the board, centered around the main cluster of the board. Then there's no weight underneath this part. And then you can see little gaskets are already installed on top of the pillars, as well as the tabs for the plate. There's a Fly DB style daughter board with this is a Molex Pico Easy connector, Pico Easy Mate connector. And now for the top piece, it's kind of, you know, typical Jane V2 style plate with 7-point top mount, currently bolted in top mount. So we can maybe take the plate out first. Jedi Buds, hello. Thank you. Haven't seen you stream in a while. Yeah, I know. Just been busy. I think we can take this board as a Jane V2 CE, but cheaper. Yeah, it has a lot of the similar features. Internal weight, near the like 60% cluster. Obviously has like a, you know, in this case they use like a shiny sort of this is really cool, this like sort of orange and like carbon fiber sort of like shiny backplate. Looks pretty nice with the Volcano version. And then you actually, one thing that it is different, distinctly different, is the fact that this part here is not a heavy weight, so it's not as heavy on the back side of the board, right? So in terms of like weight distribution, it's a little bit different from the V2C, I assume. It also is it has a seamless style case, so it the top piece covers the entire side part of the board, so it's not like the seamed two piece as the Jane V2. So a little bit different in those regards. But yes, a lot of similarities. CMD switches. Marcia left here for keeping the plates together and the PCB. Okay, so fairly standard plate though. Has 65 and 7U compatibility, ANSI layout, but F12 top layout, right? Hello, what colorway is this? This is most similar to the Volcano colorway, which is supposed to be a dark gray top with an orange bottom with this kind of carbon fiber twill backplate. The main difference, I think, it's that this top piece is actually more on the dark blue. Is more so dark blue than the dark gray. But yeah, this is basically as close as possible to the, well, you know, not quite the exact same as the Volcano colorway. But the Volcano colorway, if you see on the group buy page, it says anode dark gray and then bottom anode orange, back accents gray, and the bottom plate is carbon fiber, which is overall there. I'm not trying to trash any designs here, but at this point, are we even gonna get anything other than JMAT over and over again? I think for TKLs, it's definitely, sadly, I would say, it's overplayed. I personally am, you know, I agree with you that it's uninteresting, right? To have it overplayed like that. So, I agree. I think it is Jane mount is certainly very nice. I personally like Jane mount plate stuff, but in terms of design, yeah, it's been done a lot. It's been done a lot. So, yeah. But I would not call it proven to be the best and optimized mounting points either. I agree with Drua. I think it's like it's been you know, played around with a lot, or rather it's been put into boards a lot, but it doesn't mean anything it's optimized. It actually, so in case you like you know, in case you like never knew about it, the Jane V2 mounting is actually based on another board. It's based on what the Koala from Corellas on OTD.kr, as well as like the Whale from Linworks, from Lin. Like, you know, some of these designs already had this particular plate mounting positions. So it's based on those, actually. So the GMV2 didn't come up with a new plate mounting position. It was actually based on something else that existed. So in a way, we've been kind of reprising a lot of work. I mean, you know, keyword community stuff, just in general, revolves around seeing another person's work, feeling inspired by it, and then going, I'm gonna make something similar to it. You know, different aesthetics, different looks, all that, but I'm inspired by that, and then kind of like building up from there, I think. So yeah. But I'm in agreement with you. I do wish there was more playing around. I mean, the thing is this. If you look carefully, whether it's TKLs or 60% or other things, people do play with designs. I think it's disingenuous to say that there are no original designs out there and there are no people trying new things. Because there's a lot of keywords out there, and there's a lot of new stuff, or like just different stuff as well. As much as there is a lot of reprised sort of stuff, right? Like based on existing things, right? So I think it's disingenuous to say that we only get Jane V2 mount, or like, you know, Jane mount plate stuff out there for if it's a TKL, or it's gotta be a top mount, and yeah, like I don't think that's really the case anymore. I don't mind the mounting consistency as long as it sounds good. What I care about is that the external is a different looking rectangle. So coming from me as a as someone who, you know, like uses and collects keyboards, I am more in that camp. I am more in the camp of, does it look different? Do I like how it looks? And do I like how it looks enough that I wanna have it or wanna try it or whatever it is? Yeah, I'm more in that camp. I'm okay with some designs just reprising new, like, you know, pre-existing things so that the internals work, because it's like if someone else did the work, or did the preliminary work of at least like trying that thing out specifically, then, you know, there's nothing wrong with doing, like, using that as a baseline and then designing something completely different. If you're designing the exact same thing, that I feel like that's just, you know, that's what you call derivative work, right? Or in some cases, like, very close to what like copy would be, right? But yeah, like, as long as it's different, it's good. I think China's budgets are doing more experimenting mounting points. Yeah, and they're doing like different mounting styles and that kind of stuff. But I mean, I don't think, you know, not just China, but really designers everywhere, and like anyone who has stayed active, I think, aside from the ones who kind of like self-profess, self-claim that what they want to do is recreate the classics. That's just what they want to do, and well, you just gotta let them what they want to do. In those cases. Oh, hi, Patty. Hi, thanks for the Prime. How are you? How are you? I saw the story. I saw that TwitchCon didn't work out, but I hope all the other stuff has been going well. I'm honestly relieved. It's a lot of work to prep too, right? For like booths, I'm sure it's a lot. I obviously can't relate because I've never done it, but like I'm sure it's a whole ordeal. It's funny, Qualum mounting points were based off of 6.25U, but nobody even uses 6.25U, and most of the time it's on Win keyless 7U boards. Yeah, it's because people prefer Win keyless 7U, like, you know, blocker 7U boards for TKLs. At least it certainly is a much more popular. Well, it's become more acceptable. Like I mean, there still is always a subset that wants Winky, but I do think like in the enthusiast scene, like you think TKL, a lot of people think Winkeyless 7U. So yeah, regardless of the mounting design or whatever you might call it. Look at the mounting points there, and it's centered by a 625. Yeah, like this, like you were saying that the midpoint of these two mounting points is like here, right? Which is the 625U. We doing 625 this build? We can't because we have blockers. That would look funny. Any keycap recs for Rosetta Green? I feel like almost everyone says like Dandy or something like that, right? I am a big fan of camping myself, but I don't think everyone is. But I guess you don't have to go green on green. Do you have... I mean, if you want to do like... If you want to go beige, you could do 9009. Like, you could do classic beige, but with like the greenish accent. That's a nice... Like, it's kind of understated. Or actually, you can even do the pink one. The salmon pink one. It looks nice on green. How's the new place? It's good. Not much. I have a Monstera here that's trying to chase the light that comes from the window here. Our room right here right now is a little bare. Well, relatively. The living area though, it's looking nice. We just recently put up our like artwork and stuff. And we're just like, you know, our like shelves and whatnot are done. We do have to buy for like furniture. Need to buy furniture to put some of our stuff, and also like to kind of prep like a, it's not quite a nursery, but it's really more like just like a second room where there's gonna be some kid stuff, and then there's also you know, just like a comfy room for someone to stay in when they come to hang out or help or whatever it is. But yeah. Sorry I'm late. Oh, sorry, I'm late. Thoughtfather, I saw your DM. I can run this actually, because I don't need to. I don't enter, so I can run it. I can just leave the ping, and I can leave the message. I can run it in like 5 minutes, and people can fight. Oh wait, Ultra steps. I think clip from the bottom. And as you can see, I don't have much. Right now, the lighting situation is kind of weird. I have one key light here and nothing else. I have like a ceiling light over here. It's on the side. It's a little behind me though, so that's why I cast a little bit of a shadow. And then I should have bought a bar light to fill here on my right, but I didn't. I thought I had one, but I apparently sold it, so I don't have one of those stick lights. I think I sold it like a couple years ago when I stopped using it. So right now my face has this like dramatic lighting on. And yes, Kiwi loves the new place. I mean, Kiwi is relatively a simple cat. He likes more space. He likes room to run in. He likes having ledges to sit on. So during the day, he will sleep at the windowsill right here. like sunbathing or just otherwise just like napping. Or funnily enough, when we set the second bedroom's like bed, like we have like this like full size bed there, he like immediately started sleeping there that night. So you know there's that. So yeah, he likes it. He likes it. He likes comfort, and since we did move into a bigger place, he's been kind of loving it. Maybe it's time to disable the buh auto response. Wait, why would you do that? People live for it. There's people who straight up come to the stream at the beginning just for that. Why would you disable fun? Space for zoomies, yeah, exactly. Well, he doesn't get zoomies as often, but usually like once in the morning and once at night. He's good though. He's been very good. He still gets spooked out by hallway noises and stuff. Like one thing that he actually hates is doorbell or like buzzer sounds. So whenever like anyone tries to, you know, get buzzed in for like a mail delivery or like whatever it is, he gets really spooked out and he'll like hide. But he has a lot of hiding spots now, so yeah, he'll like run away for a little while, but he hates the sound of like doorbells, buzzers. Live for the keep content, die for the buh train. Yes. Exactly. Alright. I'm gonna do this one step and then I need to quickly reply to this DM. So I chose to use some cherry mix browns for today's build. By the way, I saw that Alex had built this same board with I think MX2A black switches already. And I figure it's a nice litmus test for anybody who is wanting to get that like more typical sort of Jane V2 plate feel sound, and so I figured I can try some tactiles and some MX browns just to make it slightly different and still keep it under the cherry sort of umbrella. I think it'll be good. So, okay. Let me quickly do that. Where are you? Do. But you're still living in New York City, right? Yes, I mean, I'm still in the New York metropolitan area, yes. So we did move a little bit further out of, like, close to Manhattan. But, I mean, it's still, I mean, actually, so it's funny. We moved further out, technically, but we are, like, right next to the express line for the train. So it actually takes me basically the same amount of time to get to the same places from here. Because instead of riding local, I ride express. So it's pretty nice. We essentially moved away for better rent prices, bigger space, but same commute, like length. So that, yeah, that part is nice. But yeah, still in New York City, still within the 5 boroughs. Just moved further out into Queens, which is nice. Actually, what's nice is the food around here is pretty bomb. It's pretty good. Yeah. Is there a taco spot with good prices? I do think I lost the one place I really liked in my previous neighborhood. So I was in Astoria before. And near where I lived, there was this one place that had $3 tacos for the most part. And they're like really good. But it was like $3, tax included. And it's like a restaurant, right? So it was pretty solid. And yeah, so I don't think I've seen anything of the same level here yet. There is Mexican food options, and I know that if I want to find it, it's not gonna be that far, honestly. I haven't found it close to me and at the same quality just yet. I'm sure I can find it. It's just I haven't really endeavored to find it. So that's one loss for sure. Like nearby neighborhoods, so like, you know, pretty close by neighborhood wise, like there is like really good like Indian, there's like Tibetan, Malaysian, Thai food, Vietnamese food. Obviously if I go into like Flushing, Bayside areas, right, like out in Queens, there's gonna be good like Chinese and Korean food. So it's pretty nice. So there are options, but yeah, I would say Mexican food that was like just as good, not yet. Haven't found it just yet. I do hope we find some, because I do love me some good tacos every so often, but I can imagine I could probably find something decent. Hopefully. Good morning. Good morning. It's 9 p.m., my friend. Unless you are not in the time zone anymore. Is that a wild TV? Could I ask about the PCB compatibility for the Spider TKL? Yeah, I would need to take a look at pictures again to kind of know. But if I look at pictures, I can tell you probably. Give me a second. Just have my hands busy, so. I'm not in the time zone anymore. Congrats on your exit from the whatever previous time zone you were in. Yeah, no, it's 8 p.m. Yeah, okay. Yeah, what do you mean good morning, man? Psh. Stop LARPing. LARPing, yeah, yeah. LARPing as a being in the other side of the world. Do the kiddos in the city say that? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I say, what do you do, fellow? How do you do, fellow kids? And then they're like, yeah, stop LARPing, unk. Yes, exactly. I really want to crack a bottle, but it's like 9 a.m. here. It's only Wednesday at 9 a.m. I mean, hello. That's how I imagine New York City to be. I do somehow fear a little bit what my kid is gonna grow up to be like when they like hit their maybe like teenage years, because I don't know how I feel about some teenagers in the city. Kind of all over the place. Can't control some of it. Hopefully good enough guidance to not go off the wrong end. Just like, or like, you know, being like, oh, I want to be like this way. I'm like, okay. You gonna learn that New York talk? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Probably better at like New York accents than I would ever be, because I will never pick that up. Already worried about the teenage years? Yeah, I mean, I need to get there, right? But it's like a immediate feeling I got, you know? I was like, you know, we were like, you know, like we're expecting a kid, and it's like, oh, it's like growing up in New York. I don't know what that's like. I mean, only know so much that my friends who grew up in New York tell me about their experiences, which is fine. I mean, obviously I get along with them because we have some similarities and such. But then I see some other kids out there just like currently like teenagers, and I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, yeah. Obviously, well, I'll leave those worries for later. You just gotta be a cool dad, Diego. Influence him on the right path. I think I kind of feel like the more you try that, the less likely it is they end up there. Because you're like trying too hard. Right, Shonies? Don't you think? Don't you feel like, especially like, yeah, like teenagers are that way too? Like kids in general, they're like the more you like tell them a certain way or thing, kind of they might be like, no, just because it's you telling me that, no. At least maybe I felt like that when I was a kid, but like yeah, I kind of feel like influencing is effectively de-influencing for kids to some degree. There's so much to worry as of resin keyboards. Oh god, no. They can do whatever they want with mine, but ain't no way I'll influence them in that path. Reverse psychology, yeah. There's so much to worry as a parent today. If I'm to have a kid, I don't know how I should monitor his use on social media and stuff. Yeah, I mean like technology and that kind of stuff. Yeah, just have to watch out for it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how I would manage it either. To be honest with you, I mean like I think for us it would be just preventing them from being like introducing them to technology so soon, and then after that I think just kind of goes with like just responsible use. It is hard. I mean it's hard. How do you avoid the brain rot? Is there a way to avoid it? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. We'll get there when we get there. I don't get my own cell phone unlike high school. Yeah. I mean, me too. Like I didn't have a cell phone until I was in high school. I had a cell phone in high school, but yeah, before that, not really. I think I was just using landlines for the most part. But yeah, today's world, I mean, they get like iPads and laptops and things like that super early. Not to mention just technology is integrated into the curriculum regardless. So early in like kids learning because it's just integral now. So yeah, it's tough to say. And the phones aren't dumb anymore. Yeah, there's that too. I mean, I remember having to I don't know what is the regular like numpad like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and then like typing like A is like once, B is like twice, 3 is like 3. I don't know what that was called exactly, the type of typing. Like learning that and then discovering T9, like the predictive type, where you like just click the button that the letter is in and then going to the next one and so on. And then when the first like QWERTY touch tone, oh thank you. Yeah, I don't know the exact word for it. But then and then like switching to like a full QWERTY, like with the first phones that actually had full QWERTY keypads was like insane. I still remember the first time I tried like a BlackBerry and I was like, there are so many buttons on this thing. It's cool, but there's so many buttons on this thing. And then there was that stupid little it's basically a scroll wheel. It's like a little ball, right? And that was crazy too. My cell phone was going to the electrical box in front of my apartments and waiting there for the homies. Yeah. I don't know. It's a different time. Like, do kids even go to the mall these days? I mean, I guess probably to some degree, not to the same extent we did. Going to the mall to do just about nothing. A whole nothing burger at the mall. But I guess kids do still go to the mall just for different reasons. Funnily enough, it's kind of like how, you kind of see people like with point and shoots again. It's like all this stuff is like kind of coming back into like mainstream, right? Malls so expensive these days. Real. That is so true. Okay, done with my stabs here. Let's see it. Who won? Oh, edamame. Congrats. Okay, who was asking about the spider PCB? Spider TKL, right? All you need to look at is what it looks like. PCB. That's... It's just unified JST, right? Let me look at the cutouts. Taking a look. So actually the cutouts for the PCB at the top and the bottom are the same as the H87. So I think you should be able to use like a H87C or similar, like a I think you can use a general. You won't have the LEDs though, just so you know, like the LED on the right side. For the indicators you can always solder, but the stabilizers and also the enter stabilizer is south facing on the spider TKL. Yeah, so the Infinity 87.5 should work. Most likely. I don't remember what spider plates look like. Let me see. Oh, spider plates have okay, yeah. So Infinity 87.5 PCB. I'm just taking a look. Let's see. So that's north facing enter. Yeah, you should be good with an 87.5. Yeah. And the cutouts, I think, yeah, they're in various places, but they should match up. If someone said that 87.5 works, it probably does. And then you would just use unified JST here for the daughter board. Yeah, I think it should work based on what I'm seeing. Because if you look at the spider PCB, let's see. Where is it? Here. If you look at the spider PCB here, it has the, you know, the things that you look out for are gonna be like the little like semicircular cutouts at the top and the bottom, as long as you have those cutouts, and then the stabilizer orientations, and then the fact that you have the JST at this on the right side, right, of the bottom of the PCB. Yeah, it should work. It should work. It's H87 JST, yeah. So yeah, there you go. So it should work. I wonder if the Galatea PCB does work. I thought the Galatea was also supposed to be like a H87 replacement, so probably. I thought that was the whole point of the Galatea PCB, so I think so. Oh, but yes, this Ashura is right though. You do need to check those O-ring cutouts. the little semicircles at the top and the bottom, just double check. Whatever you're buying, just always double check that the shape matches, and that should help. I think that's really the most important thing. And of course the stabilizer cutouts for the plate, because in some plates it doesn't have cutouts for both south facing, and then this is north facing, like when the wire is like this. But yeah, sometimes it doesn't have that cutout, like the right cutouts for both sides. So you just need to match those, or you can always file the plate a little, but it's manually where you might not want to do. Good evening. Hello, Mr. Captain Mike. How are you? How are you, my friend? Okay. Let's see. This goes this way. That way. Should test my stabs shortly. That one didn't. Let us test our steps. Good. I have hot swap today, so no soldering involved. Which is nice. I'm seeing this colorway for the board, and you know what key set I kind of want to put on this? You guys know GMK Yuri, right? I feel like GMK Yuri might look good on this. Has some of the orange, has like a bluish tone mods. Might look pretty good on this. I feel like it's a fairly underrated set. It did have a second, like it had have 2 rounds for it, but I don't think it was that popular in the second run. But I think it's a pretty nice set. I don't know. Just kind of a thought I had because I saw the orange. I was like, huh, orange and navy. I might work with that. Anyway, have I missed anybody else's questions or anything? Oh, Mr. Let's see. Epsilon, I didn't catch you earlier. Hi. Hope you're well. Yo, Blue Crayon. Hello, sir. How's it going? How are you? Surviving? Trying to? Have you like managed to get used to it a little bit? It's good to see you though. Been better, but he's going through another growth spurt, so we think he's sleeping less. Sleep changes. That's rough. That's rough. Can't even tell you I know what you're talking about. I mean, at least to the extent of being able to relate to it. But hope you're, you know, staying healthy and stuff. Hanging in there. I keep missing your streams. Soon. I know. Soon. Soon it will be all me too. Oh, Jabronas! Hello, thank you for the raid. Welcome, raiders. Welcome. If you don't know me, I'm Diego. I'm Lightning Keyboards, Lightning XI, etc. I build keyboards as well, as you might know. Jabronas, I saw that you were doing your affiliate stream and you were doing some giveaways and stuff. I hope you had some nice prizes and some winners, well-deserved winners. I won 2 things. Oh, understand here over here with the big dubs. Congrats. Gorkas Willem, hello. Conan. Conan's everywhere, man. Conan, were you tuning in on to everyone's stream? That's kind of, wow, that's badass, dude. Shark, hello. Tan Asian, or Tanasian? Not sure. How's it going? Yeah, that's fun and some drama. Ooh, drama. Tell us a bit. It's okay. You can spare me the drama if you don't want to spill too many beans over here. Oh my god, anomalous, dude. What the heck? Subscribed for 6? Wow, damn, thank you. Thank you, anomalous, dude. Kevin does care I didn't win anything. Some people clearly cheated. Whoa, cheated. Whoa. Holy cow, keyboard maker. Been a minute since I've seen some people. Okay. I was like reading down. I was like, been a what? Conan watches 4 at once, 24/7. It's pretty remarkable. Every time I see someone raid my stream, I see Conan amongst the raiders as well. But then I know I said hi to him at the beginning of the stream, so it's not. Conan's skill is not just watching, keeping 4 windows at the same time, or 4 tabs. It's the fact that he actually interacts in the chat at the same time. It's like, what? It's true multitasking. I can't do that. I suck at multitasking, by the way. Like, if I'm in like the kitchen, like cooking for my wife or like, for us, I suck at multitasking. Okay, let me see. I'm Asian and tan. Nice. I tan, but I don't tan too much. But I'm also Asian. Can't say I would be tan Asian though. Not that tan. When I was a kid, I would tan a lot more. I don't know why, because my skin just had more melanin to tan more. But nowadays, I just kind of burn a little bit more easily than I tan, which is kind of weird. I feel like if you had it as a kid, you wouldn't really, almost like grow out of it. But I kind of feel like I did. What's the current keyboard being built? It's called the Blaine V2 SE, my bad. It's a board by Upas of CannonKeys. It was initially designed for this sort of like private buy through the New England keyboard Discord group. And then it was brought back sort of as this like slightly revised board. It's based on, it kind of started off as being a board based on a Jane V2 TKL plate with the F12 TKL configuration. And then the keyboard elements were inspired by, well, as the name follows, were inspired by both the Jane V2 as well as some Pokemon elements. So the back actually has this cool volcano weight that actually lights up when you have the PCB, and it has this cool like red, sort of like red twill carbon fiber backplate over here. So this is like the Volcano edition. And it has this orange bottom piece, and it's supposed to be a dark gray top, but this one looks a little bit more on the bluer side. But yeah, that's sort of the gist of it. I prefer the bottom of the board without the plate. Fair. I guess at least with the back plate you can always kind of change it. Let me see, as long as it's not 4 a.m. I have subscribed before, presumably last while you're taking your break. Yes, most likely. Most likely. Okay. So, and yeah, it has these RGB LEDs that shine right here, which is pretty nifty. Okay, let's start with the most kind of standard mounting method, which is going to be top mount. So this board is able to do 3 different mountings styles. It's going to be top mount, where you have bolts that attach the plate and assembly to the top of the case. And then there is going to be single gasket mount, where you have gaskets kind of lining the bottom case and the plate just sort of sits right on top. And then lastly, we have O-ring mount, where you place a gasket O-ring around the assembly, and that sits on top of these pillars on the bottom case as well. So we'll start with top mount and go from there. Outdoors all the time as a kid, man. This is true. I also, to be fair, Captain Mike, you're kind of familiar with parts of Mexico, right? So when I was a kid, I moved around a lot. Actually, I was born in Guadalajara, but I lived in Mexico City. I lived in like Mérida. I lived in like the main different parts of Mexico. And one of the places I lived in was Guanajuato, and I was in León. And if you happen to know León, it's like this city. It's like the maybe like the 5th or 6th largest city in Mexico, I think. But it's a fairly arid, like dry region. The sun is very hot there. It's not quite a desert, but it's a very arid and dry, like dry heat type of region in the center of Mexico. And over there, like when I lived there, I would tan so much, because even if you don't spend that much time outside, the sun, like the heat would be so strong. But it was dry heat at least, so if you like going to the shade, it feels like instantly colder. But yeah. Those are some beautiful caps on your HKB. Thank you. Guadalajara, León is beautiful. Yeah, León is great. León is known for its shoe industry in particular. Yeah. So particularly like leather shoes. Well known for that. I'm gonna just align the plate a little bit. Seems like it's slightly off. Bottom. León reminds me a bit of Spain's Granada. Mummies, if my memory serves me right, yes. If you go to Guanajuato city, which is the capital city of the state, it does have a bunch of cultural things, and amongst them there are mummies. Like there is this mummy museum where they have preserved mummies as well. Yeah. Guanajuato. That's right. Good memory. Wait, is that the right orientation? Yeah. I graduated years ago, so it's been a while. I mean, me too. Trust me. Yeah, I mean, I lived there. I lived in Leon for like 7-8 years. Yeah, I lived there quite a long time. And then after I lived in Leon, I moved back to Mexico City. I did most of my high school years there. So yeah, it's a hot minute. Spent 4 years in Guadalajara, traveled a bit. Yeah, Mexico is nice to travel in. Although, I guess if you're going from like, I don't know, like Leon for example, and you want to go to the beach, it's a hell of a drive because it's you have to go around the mountains. I don't know if it's any different now, but I think you still have to. Like if you're going to like, I don't know, like Puerto Vallarta or like anywhere else. Yeah, but yeah, good memories. Being so used to beach, it took a toll. Yeah, it's nice though. Beaches in Mexico are so nice. Kind of miss going down there. Of course, like people will talk about like Cancun, and I guess if you're in Mexico City, you'll go to Acapulco a lot. Mostly lived in cities, yeah, for the most part, yeah, like either smaller or bigger cities, but yeah, mostly cities. I'm definitely like a city person. Pacific, not so much. Atlantic beaches for the win. That's fair. Gotta take advantage of the kids flying for free before too. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Are you going to do that too? Loki, I don't know if I want to travel that soon though. Yeah, I know, right? That's what I mean. It feels daunting. Also, getting exposed to people and then getting sick, that kind of stuff. When are you going back to Mexico so we can join? I don't know. I haven't been in quite some time actually. I think it's almost been like 10 years I think since I last went to Mexico because my parents moved out after I finished college, like university, right? After I finished uni, like my parents moved out of Mexico. They're in the States now. So like back when my parents were still there, I had reasons to visit because I would visit them and then I would also visit my friends. But now it's like, I would have to just travel for the sake of travel, for leisure. But then in the past 10 years, I just never really made that opportunity happen, which is kind of bizarre. I guess partly it was because also a lot of my close friends did move out of like Mexico City and stuff, so it was kind of harder to get everyone together. But yeah, got exposed to baby with air travel at a young age. That's probably true. I mean, I'm sure we will though, because I do have relatives in other places, like outside of New York City. Your friends left too, or you left your friends? I left my friends first, and then my friends left for other reasons, like work, studies, etc. Yeah, so we all kind of did eventually. Mexico City. Let's get Vijesu to host us. I'm sure he'll be a good host. Alright, what keycaps should we put on this? I was talking about GMK Yuri earlier, but could be anything. Everyone keeps telling me to travel. I mean, yeah, everyone keeps telling me to travel too. I'd be stressed too, yeah. Is that black anno? No, it's actually like, it's more like dark blue. Yeah, dark blue, and then it has a orange bottom. Yeah, it's like navy. You can see it from this other view too. Oh, it's a little hard to see, huh? Let me see. Maybe this light will help. Yeah, it's kind of a very dark blue though. Firefly? Ooh, I don't have Firefly actually. I do not have Firefly, unfortunately. Traveling is one of the only few experiences that is worth it outside of marriage and children. Yeah, I mean, that's actually one of my bigger regrets from my 20s, is I didn't travel nearly as much as I wanted to. I traveled, but not that much. I worked a lot. I didn't travel that much. Yeah. You have a list of your keycaps? I don't like all in one place, but you can just kind of name things. And I probably have a lot of sets. I do have a lot of sets. I get too homesick and I want to see my cat. Okay. Having a cat and having to travel is tough. Who looks over after your cat? I mean, dogs are even worse, but cats too. GMK Stealth. I don't have Stealth, but I do have like gray on black, dark. No, wait, sorry. Gray and black and shaded I have. Grisian? Grisian, I'm not sure. I do have that too, yeah. I do have Grisian. I do not have GMK Spark. It's not even out. I'm kind of, yeah, alright. Between like a WOB version and like, yeah, Grisian is good. I suggested Yuri. I think between those two, maybe we can choose something. Let me, I can suggest a few things here. Give me like a sec. Let's see. I also have like Alter. It's not Pokemon related, but it probably works with this kind of colorway. I have Carbon. Not huge into these. Denim, maybe? Maybe too light. Clatney I don't have. Rubber Hose I do have. I have Hallyu as well. GMK Hallyu. I guess GMK Hallyu is actually kind of closer to Firefly than all the other ones that I've mentioned. I mean, you know, I have like classics. You know, like WOB, Beige, Hyperfuse, Dolce. Like Hydro, Carbon, like those Oblivion, Olivia, Olive, like all those kinds of sets I do have. Rainy Day I don't. Wow. You're so good at naming sets I don't have. You're actually so good at naming sets I actually don't have. It's so interesting. Okay, let's go with some of the ones we've named so far. Let's just do a quick poll. So Keycaps, Yuri, Grisian, Hallyu, let's just say Beige of some sort. And since Shoney's is so adamant about it, and let's see, did who mentioned Hydro? Hydro. I don't think Hydro's gonna look that good. Skidata might be a good set. Actually, I'm gonna put that on. Okay, vote between those 5 sets. I'll put my vote for Yuri. Classicer. Oh, Classicer is nice. If beige of some sort gets selected, we could do Classicer too. That's actually kind of a nice set. Yeah. All right. While we're here, let's make sure this works. Oh, the FRO is offset by 1, I think. That's the... Nine Walker, hello. How are you, man? Okay, that looks fine. How's your day, man? Long? Felt. Alright, looks like the votes are leaning towards Yuri, so I'll go get that and come back with it. Okay, GMK Yuri. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay. What mounting style? Currently we have it on top mount. We're gonna try all of them. What color is the board trying to be? It's like a navy. So this is a dark blue. Dark blue top, orange bottom. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back with GMK Yuri. Gonna look nice, I think. Let's see. Sheesh, haven't seen Yuri in ages. Yeah, I know, right? I feel like it's interesting that I find it interesting that it had a like a rerun, but it didn't really pick up popularity. It's not a very popular set. I think it's a pretty underrated but nice set. Yeah, it's a nice set, just overall. I like the mods, not so much for the light blue though. Oh, really? Oh, I actually really like the alphas. Well, just I think in general, just the set itself is pretty sweet. It can be a little bit jarring with the, I guess the alpha color against the, like with the orange is a little bit bold, but it's different. What was the inspiration behind the set? Wasn't it around like a cosmonaut sort of suit design, I think? I forgot. It's just me, I just have a hard time with blues unless it's music. Nice. Also fair. The name, yeah, the name after Yuri Gagarin, but I think the color scheme came from the program inspiration, right? I need you can just look at the IC. I think Tomberry goes over the details of that. Diego, do you know if you'll be getting a unit of the tofu to build? Is that the full size tofu, right? I'm not sure yet, actually. I think currently no, but maybe yes. I've been in touch with KVD fans, but they haven't been like completely up to date with me on everything. So, like as you know, like I think I saw the what was the last KD fans thing I did? Actually, was it just the? Because it was a tofu pad, and then the Athena 75 recently happened, and I think I'm gonna get a unit to check out. It's a little bit on the later side, but still. And then yeah. Agar Micro, yeah, I don't think I've been sent any like small form factor stuff from them before. But yeah, I guess small form factor stuff could work too. But yeah, I don't think I mean, well, I'm pretty sure they didn't reach out to me because they knew I was going to be moving. So there was that. Agar Micro looks so cute, but I don't think I can go lower than 60. I feel the same way when it comes to like 40%, or like, you know, under 60% layouts. Yeah. I don't know what artisans I'm gonna put on this. Kind of like torn on this actually. Oh, actually this one's not quite blue. It's actually more like purple. But maybe I have a few other artisans here. Let me see. Maybe I can do like play with some purple. It's close enough that I don't think it looks that bad. right? Maybe I'll do this for that. And then play around with this color. We'll do some purple. No, I don't like this. Not much to match this actually. Maybe the cactus. And back. Welcome back. Need this wheat cap. A few little accents. I guess if we went with the Pokemon theme, we could just put these splats as well. These guys here. Have you tried the Toreros yet? No, I've seen content for it on Instagram, but I haven't tried them myself, no. Those are the MX Brown lookalikes, right? Or not lookalikes, like light tactiles, I think. Should I use Hydro? You're a good match. Yeah, Hydro would be more on theme. I agree. They're much more fun than MX Brown. I prefer clears to browns. Oh, it makes sense if you prefer like a bit of a sharper ductility. I actually prefer MX Browns to clears. But if you say they're more fun than MX Browns, it sounds like they're on the slightly more tactile side, which is not a bad thing either. I do wonder if they're like, I remember trying like pewters back when those came out, and like that was a little bit different too, right? Dude, I don't have internet at my crib right now. I miss my PC setup. Oh damn, you don't have internet yet? Won't have internet till the last week of August. Oh damn. Deprived. That's rough. That is rough, my friend. I just use data? Oh wow, really? Oof. Yeah, that's kind of rough, no? Okay. Okay. I'm too stubborn to pay up the $50 upcharge, so I'm waiting till September to renew. I mean, I'll be cheap about it too. Although that's like what, 3 weeks? That's a little while, no? $50 just divided by a number of days. Think of it as a, what is that? 50 divided by like 20. It was 100 for the same plan I used to be on. Oh, okay. Okay, well, I can commend your patience for 3 weeks. It's a lot. Just do my work stuff at work though. Oh yeah, well, that's a good thing. If you do your work stuff and you don't have to do anything like that at home, that's nice. You can just leave the shit posting and the doom scrolling at home on your data plan, right? All right, let's try this on top mount. Imagine doom scrolling. Hello? Can you leave my favorite hobbies alone? Thank you. Okay. This is the Blaine V2 SE with MX Browns on an aluminum plate on top mount. Oh wait. 60 seconds. There's a train passing by. Can you guys hear it? I'm not sure if it's that very audible. Let me turn off this fan over here. All right, there we go. Jane plate moment, yeah, definitely feels and sounds a lot like a Jane plate. I will say, like, if I'm doing MX Browns, I prefer them on carbon fiber than on alu, or I even prefer them on polycarb than on alu, but alu is still nice. Yeah. Side bezel's kind of big. They're not too bad. It is also somewhat of a limitation from having seamless sides. Yeah. And there are boards like F18X is a prime example of extremely thin side bezels. So I prefer them to that for sure. Like, I prefer thicker side bezels to like F18X bezels, which are super, super thin. But yeah, all right, let me go through the modifiers. Oh, is this a map to a media key? Didn't realize. Which one is it? Is it this one? It's pretty nice. Spam up arrow? Alright, spam up arrow. I think it's pretty nice. This is pretty nice. Yeah, I love a Jane plate. Yeah, it's very nice. It's very sturdy. It actually has no like weird pinging or resonances anywhere, which is pretty sweet. I do like the proportions on the board, to be honest. One thing that I actually think is a downside of, for example, I mean, let's do the most obvious comparison, which is going to be comparing it to like a Jane V2 style board, which is Jane V2, Jane V2C, Jane V2 ME. Those boards, they actually, one of the downsides of them is the fact that the bottom is kind of, it's a little bit bottom heavy, and the board sinks a lot into your desk mat, whatever it might be. So it kind of has a little bit more of that like thuddy sort of sound that kind of transfers like a lot of the vibration into your desk. This one doesn't have much of that going on, and still has the benefit of having like the Jane style plate, right? So, and you know, looks wise, I think it's a nice look. All right, we can try a needs thicker feet. Yeah, the Jane V2 probably does need thicker feet. I mean, or at least harder feet, I would say. But this one does have, I think this is the, I think these are the AKB style feet, and they're pretty dense actually. So they do separate the bottom to from the rest of the desk, and so it's quite nice. Oh, I didn't see if this lit up, so let's see. Ooh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Look at that, look at that. That's pretty cool. Actually, should I turn off the light so you can see it better? Let me, how do I turn this off? There you go. That's pretty cool. A little volcano lighting. Is that an actual factual Toblerone? No, it's actually not an actual factual Toblerone. It is, in fact, it is a magnetic piece. So it only covers one screw, but yeah. So let me turn that light back on. It's pretty dark. Yeah, so it actually is like a magnetic piece. Just kind of comes off like that, and then it's only hiding one screw right here. So it has 6 screws for the the case. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I like it. I think it's a nice twist on the design. And it does add to the theme, so I think they did a pretty good job with that. Okay. So let's try the other mounting methods. I guess the next thing to try is a little fly. I wonder how much it would change the sound and feel if it had a heavier backplate. Yeah, that would be more interesting too. Yeah, if it had a heavier backplate, yeah, it would certainly be different. Yeah, like backplate, the backplate does change how these boards do sound. So, okay, got everything right. Does this? Okay, there. And then just need to carefully take that off. Release the plate files. I do wonder if they're planning on doing something like that. I mean, I think that would be kind of cool. Having the back plate be a customizable element. I think that would be nice. A nice touch. Gonna go ahead and try O-ring next, probably. Oh. This is so cool. I love keyboards. I've never had a custom keyboard, just some cheap Red Dragons. I think the art behind it and the craft is cool. Yeah, I mean, you know, it was kind of born out of... It's funny because custom keyboards were kind of born out of a need, right? To some extent, like people just wanted programmable elements, or they might have wanted like different layout options, like things that were just like smaller than the norm. Right, and then a lot of it was derivative from like existing stuff. Like people were like buying the IKBC poker back in the day, or like the poker 2, poker 3, right? And people wanted like, oh, I want an aluminum, like a heavier case, or just different switches, and that was kind of like how mechanical keyboards, like outside of the vintage like world sort of like launched off in the current scene, but then now it's like it's this whole like thing where people just design it around themes and like all sorts of colorways and after their favorite person, whatever it might be. But yeah, there's a lot. So I do wonder if I don't want to use these. Do I need to remove these single gaskets here if I want to use the O-ring mount? I think I do. Let me see. Kinda, but also I don't see why it would hurt having the gaskets there. Switching off. Yeah, the personalization aspect of it is cool. Yeah, I agree. That's definitely the... Well, so it kind of starts from, you know, getting a board that satisfies your needs first, and then people just kind of get into like, oh, I want a board this size, I want a board shaped like this, and whatnot. So it's nice to see that go further. All right, I think that should be good. And it's like, I think for most people it kind of becomes this chase of something like, what's the perfect balance between something that looks classic and at the same time gives it a bit of that like personal element when it comes to your own like keycaps and switches. Or you can just all build it the same way, as Blue Crayon just said. You can build them all with the same switches, same plates, same configurations, and have a lot of boards that have that equivalent sort of experience just across different layouts and boards, and that becomes your comparison for everything else. Watch out the volcano on your board. It's gonna burn me. Okay, now we have removed the screws to take it out of top mount and put it in O-ring mount configuration. So let's try it out that way now. Okay. The amount of times I've been let down buying and trying different switches. Yeah, if you get used to certain things that you already like, I mean, what are you gonna do? It just doesn't hit the same, right? Alright, we got O-ring mount this time. Here we go. Alright, yeah, a little poppier spacebar. I kind of heard a little bit more of a, like a more, I'm not sure if hollowness or like more resonance coming from like the backspace whenever I hit it. So definitely a little bit of a different sound. Let's go over the mods real quick. Just gonna do this. get that left control again? Yeah. Up arrow enjoyers and left control enjoyers. Actually, I tend to think that a good sign of a board is when you hit edge keys, so things on the F row, things on the sides, right? And it sounds like nice and solid because usually the sound tends to suffer at the edges a lot more, like when boards have that like metal to metal resonance, right? Or for example, when the inner cavity is a little bit more spacious at the back end rather than the front, like too much, a little bit much, and it kind of has this like echoey sound at the back. That tends to happen a lot. But I think for a more solid sounding build, I think the top mount sounded just a little bit more consistent across the board. This one I'm kind of actually a little bit different from convention, kind of seeing a little bit more difference at the top rows compared to top mount, which is kind of interesting. But both of them sound pretty good so far. Alex Otto's patent HJ test. Oh, this? He goes like, he's so fast at pressing 2 keys. The alphas sound fuller and more dense on top mount too? Okay, I'll trust your review on this. Since you have better memory than I do and they're probably paying attention more than I am. Crazy backweight. Yeah, Kupo. Hi. How are you? Do you see that it also lights up? It lights up. Why is this board named after a magician? The only magician that I would name a board after is you, Mr. Kupo. You're a magician. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Has little LEDs on the PCB that shine through the middle here. What the hell? I'm a bot? Can someone please confirm if Mr. Kupo is a bot? The server Iraq meme has gone too far. I still humbly request that Mr. Kupo shows up to the next big meetup that I attend. If you're a bot, can I get a free MacBook? Free MacBook with it's gonna be a free MacBook with no flash storage and no RAM. And Knocker, please join my Mr. Beast Discord. Oh my god. Alright, let's do this last test, which involves actually just mounting the board on top of these gaskets. So it pretty much just goes bare plate on bottom piece gaskets, which are already pre-installed here, I believe. I can double check if I'm missing anything. Yeah, those are the gaskets. So they're already on. So I just put the, so this is the way the Brutal V2 series was doing their gasket mount implementation. They just had a gasket on the bottom side of the plate, and that was kind of it. All right, so now let's go ahead and put it back together. We play Melee on the weekends on a proper CRT. A MacBook with no storage and RAM, so basically a low profile keyboard that doesn't work. Yeah. Okay, it looks like ads are hitting, so sorry. Who's your Smash character? If I'm playing Melee, I play Marth. or I play a lot of Fox too. And I really like playing Ganondorf for fun. Not good with Ganondorf, but it's fun. Yeah. On melee, at least. Yo, Dennis. Hello, how are you? Sorry I missed it earlier, but thank you for the sub as well. Kiwi Fund? Yes. Kiwi's enjoying life right now. He's enjoying himself these days. He's been so sweet lately. Just like very snuggly and just like very like, I don't know, he feels like he's just very like in tune with what's going on, and it's super sweet. He knows his single child days are over, so he's currying up the favors. Maybe. Same with Kiwi, been a while since I've seen him. I could bring him. He's sleeping on the other... I'll bring him after this typing test. How about that? Just so that this goes on the VOD, and then we can... And then I'll bring him over for a little break. Alright, here's the last typing test. This is, again, the Blaine V2 SE with, now we have single-sided gasket mount on the bottom case. Again, this is GMK Yuri MX Browns on aluminum. So let's give it a shot. Oh wow, that actually sounds really nice. Yeah, you're right, the spacebar sounds really good on this. So this kind of recovers some of that like stiffness that top mount has. I think it's because it's now fully rested on the bottom case instead of being like very heavily gasketed, like because the O-ring that I have over here was like really soft. So I feel like the softness of this O-ring was kind of like, you know, giving it a decent amount of space and sort of like this cushion to the, it might be 30 or 30 40, you know, that like it's definitely like, actually no, is this 50? It's a big O-ring, so it's kind of hard to tell. I actually have a hard time telling the diameter, like hardness of O-rings, especially on the bigger ones. It's much harder than on 60%, but yeah, it's probably between 30 and 50. But the only thing that changed was that this O-ring came out, and now the plate is fully resting on the bottom case that just has some small gaskets. So the gaskets actually look like, they look like this. They're just on the plate tab areas. So it's just a plate sitting on those on the bottom case. Oops. But sounds nice. It's like nice and sturdy. Okay, let's go through the mods again. Very nice. I actually think for this particular board, I actually think this mounting method might be my favorite for this build. Personally, I think I just like the balance of getting that stiffness from just the plate sitting on the bottom case back. So it's kind of like bottom mount, but without actually having screws on, and just a little bit of a cushion, right? So it doesn't like clank against the board really. So it has a little bit of that stiffness, but at the same time, you do have this sort of like, you know, Jane plate. So the points are sort of floating on those, you know, plate tabs. So you do still get some of that softness from the mounting positions being where they are. I really like this this configuration for the MX Brown build that we have here. So I'm a fan. I like it. Okay, so let's just show off the board. So again, this is what it looks like. I feel like this is the first F12 CK board in a while. You might be right, Kupo. Actually, don't remember. Need to look at the previous DKL releases, because there's like other boards that were like different layouts too. But you might be right on that. Yeah. But yeah, looks like this. The Blaine, and then if you wanted to sort of look at the back, it looks like that. Just pretty nifty. I like this color combo too, orange and, well, in this case they have dark blue on this, but it's supposed to be dark gray for the Volcano units. Pretty nice. I actually like that. I think it's a cool touch. Yeah. Onibi TKL. Oh, is that another board, or just naming it? But yeah. Okay. I'll put these plate screws aside so I don't lose them. Okay, and then I'll just go through the board here, and then can't wait to bring Kiwi over here as well. But yeah, that's what the, you know, has a little like badge engraving there. I'm losing it. I thought that was run by CK. No, I don't think so, actually. Yeah, this is a dark blue anodized prototype, I think. But yeah, Jane style plate. Bezel slightly thicker on the top and bottom compared to left and right. It has the seamless style side. You do get that like Jane V2-esque profile. So fairly simple. And then the back uses, you know, it uses this magnetic sort of back plate that hides one of the screws for the case, like that, right? So there's a screw right there. This carbon fiber back plate is just attached via screws. There's 6 of them right now. There's Phillips on this, but I imagine for production units they might be different. There's a cool Volcano in the middle. This is a brass weight. There's 2 pieces of here. One is a little bit just like clearer. The other one's just like completely frosted. Actually, this one's completely white actually, but the Volcano shape and the light actually comes through from the PCB. And then there's a Blaine little mark over here that's part of the bottom case, which is pretty cool. Can the Volcano LED color be changed? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're RGB LEDs. So I believe if I go on VIA and put it on, I'm pretty sure I can, yeah. Let me see. I think I just need to put on the JSON file for this. Let's try it because I'm curious myself. Okay. Keyboards, So I sometimes would use the Via like desktop app, but I don't think it works these days anymore. So I have to use the website. Let's see, Blaine. Okay. Authorized device. Okay. Okay. Shows up. Let's see. So right now it's set on red. I can set it. Yeah, I can set it to blue. Right? I can set it. Yeah, I can change colors. I can change colors. Yeah. So yeah, you can set different colors, which is pretty cool. What's your ideal Volcano LED color? Yeah, we want to know. But yeah, pretty nifty. Pretty nice. Actually, I can turn off the light and you can see it more up close. Or just better. But yeah, I think this is a little bit too bright right now. Maybe I need to reduce the brightness a little bit. I don't know. Just changing it randomly. Maybe a cool purple? Alright, a cool purple it is. Cool purple. I mean, obviously with this frosted thing, it looks a little bit whiter. But we're trying. It still looks a little bluer. It's just the lighting right now with my setup. Okay, that's tiring to hold up, so I'll just bring it back down here. Typhlosion's Island, right. Now that's a cool Pokemon. Alright, I shall bring Kiwi. If Dennis is still here, maybe they can see, but I'll be right back, okay? Okay, I am back with Mr. Kiwi. He's so sleepy right now. He's very sleepy. What color are his eyes? They're like golden, sort of, like yellowy. Like green, gold. Okay, he wants to sit down. Sorry, Kiwi. I know it's bright. Good boy. Kiwi also pretty cute. Yeah, he's a cutie. You guys, I love seeing his stripes. His spots and stripes. Woo! Fur. Yum, 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 yum. I like those cats that have heterochromia. I thought they're very cool, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, look at Kiwi's paws. Paws! Look at his stripes. Look at his stripes. Look at his stripes. Look at his stripes. So cute. He's so cute. Good boy. Good boy, Kiwi. Good boy. I know, it's so bright. It's so bright. Yeah. Oh. His whiskers tell me that he could bite me. Oh, itchy. Oh, I'm so sorry you're itchy. Just woke up. Okay. He wants to go. Okay, I'm gonna take him. Say bye. Say bye to Kiwi. Bye, everyone. Sleepy. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay. A lot of fur. Kiwi left his mark around here. Okay, I think we've tried all the mounting methods. For what it's worth, I know people are like, what is he doing? This is just a Jane plate TKL. It's whatever, but honestly, I think it's a cool twist on the board. On having to use a Jane V2 or like Jane plate and designing around the idea of it looking like a Jane. I think it adds some nice little cool twists, like from the back plate having this sort of like red tinted back, and then like this, you know, this weight and badge and whatever, and also just like different mounting methods, like having that like brutal V2 style mounting. I think it's nice. Just kind of gives the ability to customize, and I think the price point at which they are offering this is honestly good. I think it's $400, right? Which is pretty good for a multi-board board. I mean, I do know that if you go shop for a lot of other boards nowadays, like there are very competitive prices and much cheaper. But nonetheless, I think it's a nice way of designing around those constraints. And you know, it still goes nicely with the theme that they chose. So I think the goal was accomplished, and it sounds pretty nice. Yeah, I think the orange bottom is unique. I do agree. It's a nice colorway. I do like this colorway. I mean, this one is like navy top, but even when they go with the dark gray, it'll look pretty nice. Kind of more on the maybe like ski data sort of tone when they do dark gray instead of navy, but it's looking pretty good. Yeah. Cat hair in the keyboard improves sound. Trust? Oh, yeah. I mean, remember the era of keyboards? Actually, I'm not sure, Jura, were you around when that was a big thing? There was a time in COVID, I think, when people were like, I'm gonna fill my keyboard with polyfill. Yeah. So, duh, it's the same thing. It makes your keyboard extra thoggy. Thog. Can't do that. Kinetic sand, right? Yes. You know, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It'll make it nice and thoggy or whatever. Ship it with extra foam kit and a bunch of I guess cat hair. Tinfoil hat of keyboards. Oh man, we've been through a number of trends, that's for sure. The jelly epoch era and the foam stuff, and now we're back to like no foam, the flex cut era we had. I mean, we still have a lot of that still, like the full flex cut PCB stuff, thin PCB and bendy in like every possible direction. And then I guess now we have some nice trends. I think for convenience, like the magnetic pogo pin connectors are kind of nice, for especially for someone who doesn't want to deal with like extra cables and that kind of stuff. I think is pretty neat. It's convenient, aligns itself. Yeah, PE. Yeah, that's true. What people would call the bum wipe era. The polyethylene stems, plates, like everything. Ooh, wipe. Yeah, it's not that common these days. No, I think people will nowadays do polycarb and polypropylene, PP, PP and PC. PP and PC plates are, I would say, the go-to plastic plates, right? Long pole still going strong, yeah, but I mean that's because I feel like if anything, any trend that sort of sets like a louder and a more prominent standard in sound and feel, I think it's gonna stay generally, because there's always people looking for more of that out there. HE is mostly short travel, yeah, I've noticed. What's a go-to like Hall effect stuff, like Gadron stuff or like Geon Raws? Gadron Lecker. Oh, Lecker's good. Oh, that's nice. I thought the first few like things from Lecker were not like super well accepted, I guess, in the community. At least not in the enthusiast side as much. Maybe for like stock. What's your board rotation looking like nowadays? You know, I use HKB. If I'm like craving like a top mount or like a MX Black sort of board, like I'll do that sometimes. Like it's usually a 60 or a TKL top mount, or sometimes like leaf spring mount, like gasket mount kind of stuff. I like. O-ring mounts, I'm kind of over them somewhat. I mean, like, isn't like I'm not like, oh, I love O-rings, but I mean, I do have boards built with O-rings that they stay like that because I like them anyway. But I'm not like, oh yeah, like that's exactly what I wanted. What do you use at work? At work right now, I'm using I didn't want to take like something too expensive or whatever. So I took a Neo 80 actually. I have a Neo 80 built with GAT-X, no plate, it's plateless GAT-X, and it has some die subs. I think it has some like German die subs. Yeah. Funnily enough, I guess the keycaps are more expensive on the board. But yeah, I always come back to Topre though. Anytime I feel like, I don't know, Topre. Sometimes I just feel like having Topre, so I always have it around. Yeah, I think having at least one HKB is kind of nice in the rotation. You always miss it at some point. It just kind of comes and goes. I think this is like a very normal cycle for someone who has been in the community. It's that Topre is inevitably part of the rotation because it's just kind of comfortable and easy to use. It's nothing special. It's just Topre. Did Elaine send you a Stinger for review? No. Oh, I think she's not doing any more review stuff. I mean, isn't she really doing the raffle in like later this week? Yeah. I think the video was it. The video and the teasers. Maybe she paid a lot for that. Yeah. Is this Friday at 10 p.m. EST? Are you gonna get one, Kupo? I sold the 87U because it was too big for my desk. Yeah. I actually don't use Real Force as much. Like I don't love it. I just don't love it. I did get to try that new it was like the XRF looking board, the RF8X. I tried that and I got to keep that. That one was like a sponsored unit, so I got to keep that one, and I rotate to that one because the PC housing does make it sound and feel kind of nice. So I mean, actually feel wise it's still the same Real Force, but the PC housing makes it look nice, so it kind of like pushes me over the edge of wanting to use that for like a TKL size toe braid, but yeah, I mean, I still prefer an HKB if I have to choose one. Yeah, I'll enter. Good luck. I only used a Vulcan Pro for like the entire past year before that. That's fair. That's fair. I guess if you only use a 60, then yeah. Yeah, HKB is just the comfort zone. There's something about it. I mean, it's always been for me though, since I started in the hobby. Like HKB was actually my first purchase, like my first love, so to speak, in keyboards. When I first went to a meetup, I was like, holy shit, what is this? And I was like, I really like that. So I tried it, and I actually absolutely sucked at using it for like a year, actually like 6 months. I eventually got used to Caps' control, and then the rest was sort of like easier. Yeah. You should have stopped with HKB. I should have stopped with HKB. Fuck. Yes, it's so true. It's so true. It's so true. Can we get a win key test? Yeah, sure. Ow. Ow. Control and escape win key? That's fair. Caps' control is meta in every single board. I have every single keyboard mapped with Caps' control. Even for work purposes, if I can afford to remap it through, like, you know, if it's a Mac, through like the keyboard settings, if it's a Windows, sometimes I can use like, there's like a few different applications that allow it. I think like if you have access to PowerToys, I think PowerToys allows it. I think like Auto Hotkey, things like that work too. But even at work, I have Caps' control for everything. So yeah, once I got used to that, like years back, I never switched away from it. It's the best. So much stock. I use Caps Lock too much to warrant that, but I think for me, Caps Lock is so easy to switch to. I just do FN plus tab, I think, usually for Caps Lock. And FN is pretty accessible to me, so it's very easy. Yeah. I use left control for caps. Oh, really? So for Win keyless, I do control, Win key. I put my Win key here for Win keyless TKLs. Yeah. Oh, nice. 9 Walker. Oh, that's nice. LED is a nice touch. Yeah. All right. Let's wrap it up, my friends. Huh? Oh, I see. I didn't realize you did that on purpose. Okay. Okay, so do we have? Oh, sorry. I put Win key on left alt. So Win key on left alt here if it's a Unix based machine, like if it's like a Mac. I put it here, yeah. Basically it's on Mac it's here, on Windows it's here for me. Yeah. But yeah, aren't you on Linux? Kupo? So that makes sense. Alright. Let's go raid. Oh, Patty is playing games, I think. Right? Yeah. I watch anime in the terminal. Very nice. Actually, boring colors get red. I think the gray is my favorite color for this thing up. Do my taxes in the terminal. Yeah, I'm with Mr. Coupe. I think I like the gray one the most. Alright folks, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope you enjoyed today's stream of the Blaine V2 SE. I thought it was a very fun board and I really enjoyed it. So if you're in the, on the lookout for a Jane style pleat TKL, it's a pretty solid buy in my opinion. Alright folks, I'll see you guys later. I should be streaming again this Friday, I think. This Friday I'll be streaming the Supernova 60% from Sensi. So I'll catch you guys then. Might be on Thursday, but I think it's Friday. But I'm currently working on scheduling, but I'll see you guys then, okay? For the Supernova. Alright folks, see you later. Thank you all. Have a good night. Bye.